Alright, you got a copy of Gyromite. First thing you can do is make sure it doesn't have the tabs. That's a first sign it may have a converter inside. All the ones with no tabs are the old games. And then you can see it's got 5 screw holes. I already took the screws out of this. And there you go, you got the Famicom converter right there. That's your copy of Gyromite. And then that's pretty much it. Now, you can tell the difference between these games because it'll weigh a lot more. I picked up about 10 copies of Gyromite, and this one was obviously heavier than all the other ones. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this out here. And going to take out the copy of Gyromite here. And then you're going to take out the bottom, which has the chip on it. Now, here you got your Famicom converter. And you got your Famicom game. This is Splatterhouse. The only problem is that this is just a little too big. It's not going to fit in there. So, what you're going to need to do is shave this down. Alright, so now, before I start shaving this, just to show you, this end is actually going to go in that end. So we flipped it around, that's all we did. Nice and simple. Again. Going to take some force, but it goes in. Basically, all we're doing is just flipping that around so that then our Famicom game can go that way. And then you got all your regular pins to go in your 72 pin connector of your regular Nintendo. That way you don't need a Japanese Famicom system to play these. You could use them on your old US NES. Now, one thing that's an indicator that a copy of Gyromite might actually have the Famicom converter in it is this Rob the Robot you could see is a dark purple, almost blue, as where a lot of the other ones that don't have the converter are more of a Crayola purple. To be honest, that's not a perfect way of guessing it, but it's something that you could do. Your best bet is to be in the store, make sure it doesn't have the tabs, and weigh them out compared to other games. Gyromite's not the only game that has it. You're going to find it in all the original NES games from pretty much 85 without the tabs, such as Excitebike, Gyromite, Stackup, Wrecking Crew. There's other ones, you know, Hogans, a few of the first games. Again, it's not a guarantee they're going to be in there. You got to weigh them out. You got to make sure that it's got it. This is the only way I know, from what I've been told and what I've seen, that is almost 99.9% sure it's going to have a converter. As you can see, these 72 pin tabs, if you take a look at those, they all have the line on the right side or the left side, depending on how you're looking at it, as where pretty much all the ones that do not have the converter will have tabs like that, and you can see all those little lines are in the middle. So if you look inside a Gyromite or one of those other games I mentioned, and you see the lines look like that on the end of those tabs, you could see that. You could see the lines are all on the side of those 72s. That's going to be a sure indicator that it's most likely you got a converter in there, and that's what I look for. I felt the weight, I knew it must have had one in there, and then when I saw this, I said, oh, it's definitely got to have it, and sure enough, it was in there. So keep your eyes open for that. Okay, so again, you can see there's no way that this is going to fit in there. It's literally just a little bit off, so it's not going to fit. So what you're going to have to do is shave this down. Some people use a knife, razor blade. I'm going to shave it down, and then it's going to fit. Alright, so we're going to shave that down. Like I said, you can use a razor blade, or you can find another way to shave it. I'm going to use this. Excuse the noise. Nintendo. That might have looked a little gnarly. You really don't have to worry about it. You got a lot of room before you start reaching those, as you can see. So it's not going to do any damage. Nice and simple. Okay, after shaving it a little bit more, you can see how much I took off that side now. That side is definitely significantly different. You can see the straight edge on there. And I shaved that one down. Now your Famicom game is going to fit right in there. And so boom, there you go. You got your Famicom converter. And what you got to do now is take your game cartridge here. Put that piece in. Again, with these things you can be pretty forceful. You're not going to break anything. And there you go. Now you got a Famicom game you can play on your Nintendo. Okay, so again, now you got your Famicom game, converter, your Nintendo. Old school Nintendo, it's going to go with that warning label up. If it was a top loader, you would want to look at the warning label. Down, power it up. And there you go. Got your Japanese game working the Famicom converter. And again, this is a game you cannot get anywhere else. You can only play it on your Famicom, or unless you do this. So it's nice and cheap. Gyromite usually goes for about $1 on eBay. Search for it. But your best bet is to be able to go to a store and feel the weight of these games. That's the best way you're going to be able to play them and find the converter you need. So good luck finding one.